These are 10 country songs from the 60s that started as flops and somehow became smash hits in the hearts of fans. Take Wynn Stewart's slow-burning Heartbreak or Buck Owens' B-side that lit up the dance floors years later. Number 10, Wishful Thinking by Wynn Stewart.
Here's the great Wynn Stewart to do one of his great songs called Wishful Thinking.
It didn't top the charts, but it never left the honky-tonk jukebox. Released in 1960 on Challenge Records, Wishful Thinking peaked modestly at number 5 on the country charts. While that may seem like success, it was underwhelming compared to other hits at the time, especially given Wynn Stewart's powerful vocal range and Bakersfield backing.
You once kissed me, wishing that...
Here's the twist. This song grew in stature long after its chart run. Merle Haggard cited it as a huge influence, and modern fans now view it as a classic example of the Bakersfield sound. Picture an old pickup pulling into a dirt lot outside a neon-lit bar. Wishful Thinking plays inside while couples slow dance with heavy hearts and empty wallets. Over time, Stewart's storytelling earned overdue respect.
And make my wishful thinking.
The song helped shape future outlaw country narratives, making this almost hit into a hidden giant. From Bakersfield blues, we drift to the windswept plains of a nearly forgotten Western ballad. Number 9, Old Rivers by Walter Brennan.
That mule, Old Rivers, and me. Now one of these...
An actor's spoken word track that got laughed off at first but tugged heartstrings later. Released in 1962, Old Rivers didn't fit the mold of country radio at the time. It was slow, mostly spoken, and came from Walter Brennan, better known for his movie roles than his musical chops.
I can't remember when he wandered around.
DJs weren't sure what to make of it, but listeners fell in love with its nostalgic rural imagery and simple story of an old farmer's wisdom. By sheer audience demand, it hit number 5 on the Billboard country chart and even crossed over to the Hot 100. You could hear this one echoing from transistor radios on front porches during Sunday evenings, making grown men misty-eyed over memories of grandfathers and plowed fields.
Wipe his brow and lean back in the range and talk about a place he's...
It proved that authenticity, not polish, can make a hit. Let's go from slow and sentimental to a song that almost died on a B-side. Number 8, Act Naturally by Buck Owens.
Won't need rehearsing. All I'll have to do is...
Would you believe this gem was originally a throwaway? In 1963, Capitol Records nearly shelved Act Naturally in favor of another Buck Owens cut. It was a last-minute substitution after Buck disliked the A-side. But once it got some airplay, it took on a life of its own.
They're gonna make a big star out of me.
Written by Johnny Russell and Vonnie Morrison, the song blends heartbreak and humor in a way that felt fresh and even revolutionary. Owens took it to number 1, and it later became a Beatles cover and a duet with Ringo Starr. You can imagine a honky-tonk crowd chuckling into their beers as Buck sang about being perfect for a sad movie role because he'd been playing the part for real.
Then I know that you will plainly see.
That accidental success laid the groundwork for country's playful side. And it all started with a maybe. From playful irony, we step into a song that didn't stand a chance until it did. Number 7, The Streets of Baltimore by Bobby Bare.
I sold the farm to take my woman.
A ballad too melancholic for 1966, radio yet timeless in its sadness. Bobby Bare's The Streets of Baltimore told a tale of love lost to city lights.
When she saw those city lights, she said,
Released on RCA Victor, it only reached number 24 on the charts, a soft showing for such a poetic tune. DJs passed on it in favor of rowdier hits. But the song gained slow-burning fame thanks to covers by Graham Parsons, Charlie Pride, and eventually John Prine. Over time, it became a staple for country traditionalists. Picture a lonely man driving through neon-lit streets with this song trailing behind like cigarette smoke.
In a neighborhood serene.
Soft, sad, and unforgettable. Its power wasn't in its punch, it was in its ache. Speaking of ache, let's move to a song whose pain almost disappeared forever. Number 6, Darkness on the Face of the Earth, by Willie Nelson.
How could I see the sorrow that had found me?
This one got buried before it bloomed. Originally released in 1961 on Liberty Records, Willie's Darkness on the Face of the Earth didn't chart. DJs didn't know what to do with his jazzy phrasing and offbeat timing.
When you left me, darling, my world came to...
It wasn't the Willie we'd later come to love just yet. But fans rediscovered it decades later when Nelson's outlaw persona took off. It was reissued and praised as an early glimpse of his genius, often performed live in stripped-down sets. Think of it spinning late at night in a dusty Texas bar, half lit, half empty, with only the bartender humming along. What was once discarded now stands tall in the Willie Nelson songbook.
The stars fell out of heaven, the moon.
If these hidden gems are making you feel like digging through your old records, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. We post new vintage country countdowns every single week, and we're just getting started. Number 5, Long Black Veil, by Lefty Frizzell.
But they all agree that the sleigh.
This haunting ballad barely caused a ripple when it dropped. Long Black Veil came out in 1959, just ahead of the 60s wave, but found most of its traction later. Written by Mary John Wilkin and Danny Dill, it only hit number 6 on the country charts and then faded quickly.
And eternity near.
Critics didn't know what to make of its ghostly narrative and minor key mood. But time changed everything. As the folk revival grew and Johnny Cash covered it at Folsom Prison, Long Black Veil became a cult classic. Today, it's one of the most recorded ballads in American music. Imagine it echoing through the hollow halls of an old church, candlelight flickering, stories told in shadows.
'Cause the man they accused that...
It taught us that not every classic needs a big debut. Let's swing to something brighter but equally surprising. Number 4, Hello Walls, by Farron Young.
Hello, walls.
It wasn't his voice, it was the writer no one saw coming. When Hello Walls hit in 1961, Farron Young had already notched hits. But this one had odd phrasing and was penned by a then unknown writer named Willie Nelson.
That a teardrop in the corner of your face.
Initially met with confusion, it finally climbed to number 1 after weeks of lagging behind. Audiences grew to love its blend of humor and heartbreak. Talking to Furniture had never sounded so lonely. Picture a man sitting alone in a 60s bachelor pad, whiskey glass in hand, talking to the wall like it's his last friend on earth.
At you a while, you know I can't sleep.
This weird little song launched both Young's resurgence and Nelson's career. Let's go from heartbreak in a room to a melody that almost vanished into history. Number 3, Apartment Number 9, by Tammy Wynette.
In apartment number 9.
Tammy's debut wasn't supposed to make waves. Released in late 1966, Apartment Number 9 barely cracked the top 50. Her voice was still unfamiliar, and producers thought the song too slow.
To this lonely world of mine.
Too sad and too soft to make real noise. But its quiet vulnerability cut deep. Fans embraced the hurt behind her twang, and when her follow-up, Your Good Girl's Gonna Go Bad, exploded, folks came back to Apartment Number 9 and found gold.
Loneliness surrounds me.
Imagine hearing this on a lonely Sunday morning radio, rain tapping the window, coffee gone cold, and someone's memory flooding in. That song carved Tammy's lane and proved the power of emotional understatement. Number 2, Detroit City by Bobby Bare.
Go on back to the loved ones, the ones that I left.
This one had a long road from failure to favorite. Originally written by Mel Tillis and Danny Dill, it was first recorded by Billy Grammer in 1962 and flopped.
I wanna go home. I wanna.
Then Bobby Bare took a swing in 1963 with Detroit City, and though it stalled at first, radio DJs started spinning it on late-night shifts. Its themes of homesickness and urban blues struck a chord with country boys working factory lines up north. By year's end, it climbed to number 6 and won a Grammy.
I wanna go home. I wanna go.
Picture a lonely boarding house room in Detroit, transistor radio humming, and a southern soul staring out at a snowstorm dreaming of home. From flop to forever, Bobby Bare knew how to deliver. And now, the most famous flop-to-hit transformation of them all. Number 1, Crazy by Patsy Cline.
I'm crazy for feeling so lonely.
The most iconic country ballad of the 60s almost didn't happen. Written by Willie Nelson in 1961, Crazy was offered to Patsy Cline right after her car accident.
You'd leave me for somebody.
She initially couldn't hit the notes due to broken ribs and didn't love the song. It was recorded in bits and almost shelved. But when it finally released, it became her biggest crossover hit, reaching number 2 on the country chart and number 9 on the pop chart. Its jazzy chords and haunting delivery redefined what country music could be.
I'm crazy for trying.
Picture it spinning on a jukebox at midnight, half-lit diner, hearts breaking in slow motion. Crazy became a cornerstone of Cline's legacy and one of the greatest country recordings ever. If you've enjoyed this trip back in time, don't forget to like and subscribe for more country classics every week. There you have it, 10 country songs from the 1960s that were once overlooked but are now unforgettable. From forgotten B-sides to songs that needed time to grow, they remind us that true greatness isn't always instant. Thanks for watching and keeping the heart of classic country music alive with us. Next time, we're diving into the 10 best country albums of the 80s that will blow your mind. And trust me, you don't want to miss it. Until then, keep the vinyl warm, the memories close, and the heartstrings tuned.